80 years on from the Second World War, and Solomon Islands is demanding that former enemies, Japan and the United States, clean up deadly unexploded bombs. Blasts from thousands of remaining unexploded ordnance, or UXOs, are still killing and maiming people in this former Pacific battlefield. SBS correspondent Stefan Armbruster filed this special report from the capital of Solomon Islands, Honiara.
I was standing right on the bomb. I didn't hear the blast.
It was at a Mother's Day fundraising barbecue last year.
From my shoulder right down to my fingers, I saw these two fingers hanging, but this one was already gone.
The scars of war. Mavelyn was seriously injured by an unexploded Second World War US artillery shell and barely survived.
The people who own the bomb, I think they are responsible for what is happening to me.
Also there that day, Raziv Hilly and Charles Noda. Both had their legs blown off and later died. This is the blast site.
It was right here.
Billy Booker was also at the barbecue and tried to save his cousin's life.
We were the innocent victims of what they did here. We never asked for them to come and wage war on our islands.
A bustling city built on a battlefield. Honiara is littered with possibly thousands of unexploded bombs and shells. Deaths across the country are commonplace. There are no reliable statistics and no government support for victims or families.
I believe there should be some form of compensation.
In Solomon Islands, the US halted the Japanese advance in the Pacific in 1942. Now, with China's regional push, the symbolism of the Battle of Guadalcanal anniversary saw high-level US and Japanese delegations attend commemorations who were given a message.
Government would like to reiterate the call for scaled-up effort to remove UXOs that continue to pose a security threat to the people of Solomon Islands.
The commemorations for the 80th anniversary of the Battle of Guadalcanal have once again highlighted Solomon Islands' massive problem with unexploded ordnance. 3 bombs were found at this site, and there's an unknown number still in the ground. Australia is leading international clearance efforts. For more than a decade, providing training and millions in funding.
If more needs to be done, I'm happy to talk to the Solomon Islands government about that, and I would urge every other development partner of the Solomon Islands to think about how they can contribute in this area.
It's a live issue. The US came armed with $1 million for clearance efforts, adding to $7 million in the last decade.
If I lived here and I was worried every day that one of my kids might step on a landmine, I would want every single bit of unexploded ordnance to be gone.
Japan in March gave almost $1 million in specialised clearance equipment.
They spent trillions of dollars to build weapons to kill people, and they would only give you just a few $1 million to clean up.
Families want a comprehensive response, including new medical facilities at the dilapidated National Hospital.
If we had an ICU unit at the National Referral Hospital, fully equipped, Raziv and Charles would have been saved.
To give future victims of a war from a long time ago a fighting chance. Stefan Armbruster, SBS World News.